Howdy friendos, my name is Stuart, and welcome to the part of the channel where we take a look at pop culture characters and determine what alignment they are in Dungeons & Dragons based on the parameters we establish in our Shrek video. Today we'll be continuing our trip into fun video game movies. I mean, after all, there's only like a handful of them, but today we'll be looking at what is objectively the best shot, directed, and written live-action video game movie ever, Detective Pikachu, starring Ryan Reynolds and Justice Smith. Now I know most of my audience has probably seen this movie, but I'll go ahead and get this out of the way really fast. Detective Pikachu is technically a murder mystery, sorta, and therefore certain things will be spoiled, so take this as your only spoiler warning. From now on, you are no longer safe, and if you don't want to watch the movie with the spoilers, go watch it now and then come back. If you've somehow managed to remain spoiler-free after all this time, great job! Despite the title, the movie opens with a young man named Tim, played by Justice Smith, who just discovered that his father suddenly died in some sort of accident. Tim, having not seen his father in years, reluctantly heads to the place called Rhyme City, where humans and Pokemons live together in harmony. Shortly after arriving, Tim learns that not everything is as it seems, as he is approached by a mysterious reporter who gives him a lot of cryptic information and then disappears shortly after introducing herself. Immediately after this, Tim enters his father's apartment, where he discovers a Pikachu had wandered in, and surprise, surprise, he sounds a lot like Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds. Oh wait, no, that was right. Once they learn that they can communicate, Pikachu confesses that he has amnesia. Normally this is very good for a Pokemon, as it gives them a boost to special defense. However, instead, he has no memory, but only clues, leading them to believe that he was once Harry's Pokemon partner. Pikachu then deduces that Harry must be alive because they never found a body, nor did they report on Pikachu's death or disappearance. Now, each character has different motivations searching for Harry at this point, and this is why I obsess and find alignment so interesting. For a character like Tim, he is more after closure and is almost passively taking the adventure. He is much less invested and is almost going through the movie as an act of mourning. Meanwhile, Pikachu is extremely driven to find out exactly what happened to him and what happened to his human partner. Pikachu is the proactive character in this situation, while Tim is reactive. Together, they make the mystery go forward, and this is fairly common with buddy cop movies like this. They are diametrically opposite but complement each other. I think that in most of this movie, Tim must be neutral. He is simply kind of pushed along by others and the plot. He's really chill and seemingly lacks a lot of passion in most places. Now, I won't be doing Tim's alignment actions, but he is important to understand our foil. After all, what is the opposite of neutral? Well, Pikachu is also true neutral, but in a much different way. Detective Pikachu in this movie is kind of neutral that doesn't pick his stance one way or another, but has a solid goal and works towards it and isn't stopped by the moral ambiguity of his violent actions. I thought maybe he's chaotic neutral for a second, but that doesn't add up either, since he's basically an amnesiac who would reasonably want to find out more and is just confused and isn't sure of what to do. I'll talk about this more in the opinion section, but for now, let's go ahead and find out where Pikachu ends up at the end of the movie. And with that, let's go.
I've never been so flattered and creeped out at the same time. Are you gonna make me into a lampshade? Put down the stapler, or I will electrocute you.
Pikachu sets very clear goals as to how the exchange will work. He does this because Tim is treating the stapler as a weapon and threatening him. Lawful neutral.
We're playing charades! We're not playing charades! Okay, I'm gonna get a knife!
Tim gets attacked by a bunch of wild Apom, causing Pikachu to panic and offer random options for Tim to fix the situation. Chaotic neutral.
Can you hear him talking? You can hear him saying words?
What are you not getting here, kid?
Tim freaks out in town while Pikachu breaks down the situation for him. Lawful neutral.
Ah, my clues!
What is all this?
Pikachu stays up all night looking for clues to crack the case. He says he's onto something, but the fact that he makes a mess of the apartment leads me to believe this is chaotic good.
You didn't tell me that she has a Psyduck. These things explode when they're stressed.
Honestly, calming the Psyduck down is a good plan. I'm just willing to bet that this is done to help both Tim and everyone else. Neutral good.
Listen up. We got ways to make you talk. Or mine.
I fully acknowledge that this scene is made for comedy. And yes, before you ask, this is an @20 scene. However, throughout this interrogation, Tim and Pikachu basically threaten violence on the Mr. Mime. I mean, it's still real unclear if the Mr. Mime got hurt, and Pikachu attempted to attack him directly like an open Yu-Gi-Oh field. Technically lawful evil.
Tell him he's on, amigo.
Okay.
Pikachu agrees to a match with Charizard in order to get information on the R stuff. Lawful neutral.
I'm sure that if your dad was here, he'd be damn proud of you, kid.
In a surprisingly genuine scene, Pikachu comforts Tim and tries to help him through his daddy issues. Neutral good.
Second chances are special things, kid.
Pikachu and Tim investigate Harry's death more after learning about Mewtwo. They are doing this for their sense of justice and to get closure for themselves and for each other. It's kinda plot-driven, but they're both motivated enough by love for a neutral good.
What's with the
It's so weird.
Of course I care about my partner's life. Fine, hand it over.
What are you doing?
So, is this Psyduck a frickin' sociopath or something? Did he just threaten to explode if Pikachu didn't give him a foot massage? I mean, we can't understand him, but that's messed up if it is. Neutral good for Pikachu, what the hell?
I know who I am. I'm the guy who betrayed Harry.
Whoo boy, a lot of plot happened. Pikachu and Tim met up with Mewtwo and get unclear visions of what happened the night of Harry's disappearance. Pikachu, thinking he was the one that sold Harry out, leaves Tim, believing that he will betray him as well. Tim doesn't care and tries to convince him to go after Mewtwo. Pikachu then shocks Tim, leaving him altogether. Chaotic neutral.
Howard would have seen this in his hologram. Oh no. No.
Tim!
Pikachu discovers that Howard covered up the attack on the bridge and then runs off for miles to find Tim. Lawful good.
Where's Tim?
Howard? Is Mewtwo?
After discovering that Howard took over Mewtwo's body, Pikachu takes it upon himself to fight him. It's not exactly a Nat 20 fight, but it's a lot better than people give it credit for. Really watch the scene again when you get the time. It's really dope. Lawful good. I actually really like this scene. This is really effective. Having conflicting and compelling feelings about an absentee or lackluster parent is something I know a lot of my audience has. Harry wants to take the time to reconnect with Tim, however, he knows that he has no right to ask for that. He spent years putting his work above seeing his kid. Letting him go and make the decision on his own is extremely nuanced for a kid's movie, and I really appreciate this movie allowing for that. Good on you, movie. So, did I do that thing again where I kind of made it too obvious where he'd end up? I mean, it's a kid's movie, so he's gonna be good aligned, but boy, wouldn't that be a huge twist if he wasn't. Pikachu was the murderer all along. I kind of want to see that in the next movie. That would be a trip, wouldn't it? Anyway, Pikachu is neutral good, and if we're going to judge Tim as well, I'd say he's about the same. Since this is a fun mystery movie for kids, there isn't a huge takeaway we have to do with the character themes or motivations. Other than that, from an alignment point, this movie is really interesting because it can show you how two characters who are effectively on the same side can be quite opposite in the way things are handled. Alignment is always about intent and the actions our characters take from them. People criticize this channel a lot, asking why it exists, and that's mostly because of the terrible reputation Alignment has garnered over the years, and to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. Alignment gets dropped so easily from most D&D tables because of lots of various arguments. See, I always like to treat alignment as a writing prompt. Now, a lot of people tend to say that the character informs their alignment and not the other way around, and I would argue you are correct, but it's still important to understand why a character has it. When you first create a character, you use it as a base and understanding of where your character will go next. Remember how I said in my Sephiroth or Mulan video how their character development made no goddamn sense whatsoever? Well, the reason I said that was 1, their character was being inconsistent, and 2, it didn't quite match up to the place that they originally started. The change was too drastic, and therefore it was unsatisfying to see the change as a result. My channel always likes to focus on character development rather than, oh, this character is certain alignment. Yeah, that's still important, but the reason I do it in this format is to see the satisfaction of a steady character growth. It's not just to do the ding-dings, although that is a lot of fun. I know this is a bit of a tangent, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Sometimes I drop some spicy opinions on the channel, and most of the time you guys are civil with the debates, and I want you to know that I notice it and appreciate it. Even if I don't always respond, we can always at least agree to disagree. Back to the point though, Detective Pikachu is neutral good because his character was a well-meaning detective, and he won't let anything get in his way to be a good, well-meaning individual. Special thank you to our editor Paul for handling this week's Pikachu video and the Spider-Verse video from earlier. We'll be getting back on schedule to other projects very soon, and there are just some extra large ones that are coming down the pipeline, and I know I keep saying that, but I do mean to get back to them. Thanks again, and watch our other alignment videos, and I'll see you next time.